The basic premise is that the paradigm of happiness is completely misunderstood. I believe that, because people always say to me, oh, well, you have all this money, Tate, but are you happy? As if I'm gonna be like, no. Like I guess what they're hoping I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Enjoy the bus. No, but the point is the whole paradigm of happiness is largely misunderstood. And we talk about happiness in society as if it's the most important metric, and I'd actually argue that it's not an important metric at all. And it's also really, truly amazing how what you define in your mind, the limits you set in your mind of what happy is and what happy isn't, becomes very, very true. So I watched a very interesting documentary once about colors. And it was colors.
Yeah.
And it was a tribe in Africa that used different words to describe colors. So to them, blue and yellow are the same color, same word, right? And also, these two very different shades of green. And I'm talking about like grass and a leaf, like basically the same shade of green. They're completely different colors. So when they showed them blue and yellow, and they couldn't see it, even because in their mind it had one word. So because they grew up their whole life and it had one word, those two colors within that spectrum, to them it's just like it's one color. They couldn't see the difference, just like we'd say different variants of pink, it's all pink. They couldn't really see the difference. Whereas the two very different shades of green, they're like, oh yeah, that's that. Oh, they're completely different. So the point is, their own mental blocks, their own mental barriers where they had mentally decided to put the brakes, controlled their reality. And people often talk about being happy, and what they do is they talk about being happy in the same way a child in their very giddyish Christmas morning happiness. You know, like, hee, I'm happy. That's never gonna be long lasting. That's gonna be temporary. If you were like that all the time, you wouldn't even get anything done, right? You wouldn't even be a mature adult. So the idea that you're out here searching for that feeling permanently is asinine and is immature. That is certainly happy, sure. But I've changed the paradigm of what happiness is. For me, anything above distraught is happy. Besides 3 or 4 monumentally destructive events that are gonna happen throughout my life, like a loss of family member or something, unless I really, really feel down, I'm happy. So if I wake up, it's not I'm thinking if I'm happy or not. If I'm not devastated, I'm happy. It's black or white. If it's not black, it's white. So even if I wake up and I'm furious and I'm stressed and I'm pissed off and I got much to do, I'm still happy. I've decided I'm happy. My happiness barrier isn't this little giddyish at the top. My happiness is everything besides feeling distraught. That's how I've designed it in my mind. So I describe myself as a happy person, and I don't really put much merit on my feeling of the day. I've got things to do. I'm an adult. I get my shit done regardless of whether I'm super happy or slightly less happy. I'm still happy and I still perform, and that's it as a whole. So when I meet guys that go, oh, I want to be more happy, I'm like, bro, that is a stupid, destructive way to try and live your life. The first thing, the fact that you will sit there and self-analyze yourself to determine how happy you are out of a score of 100 is already a mental failure. That's a failure. You should be busy. You shouldn't cross your mind. The fact you have time to sit there and go, how happy am I today? Oh, I'm only this much. Maybe I should be happier. That's already a mess up. The second thing is, and this is the truth, most of you, in fact, the large majority of you, beauty lies on top of the mountain, my friends. You have to climb it. You have to get all the way up there to see the peak and its amazing view. Let me tell you something. I'm happy because all I've done is suffer. That's all I've ever done is suffer. This is how I got here. Suffer. My life's been nothing but suffering and trauma. That's how I got here. That's why my worldview is so brilliant. That's how I can wake up, and as long as no one has a gun to my head, I am happy because I have suffered. You, ladies and gentlemen, haven't suffered enough. And if you haven't suffered, you're never gonna be happy. Happiness lies atop a mountain. If it's just laying all over the floor and anyone can pick it up, it has no value. People's entire mental model is skewed. You're a crypto guy, right? You believe in NFTs. NFTs, the whole point of them is that there's one. It's the scarcity that provides the value. If things are not scarce, there's no value to it.
Yeah.
Right? So it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's financial. It doesn't matter if it's even a good body, right? The fact that a guy has big arms, the reason that has value is because it's rare. If every dude naturally had big arms by default, it wouldn't have a value. So you're talking about happiness as if it should just be laid all over the floor. If everyone could pick up happiness without trying, you still wouldn't be happy because it wouldn't have value, and you'd be aiming for you'd be looking for a new attention of happiness. You'd be looking for something else. You just raised the paradigm. And people who are out here trying to find happiness without trauma and suffering, those are the guys who get, but it's the struggle that adds the value to things. The reason I'm gonna love my cars so much is because I had nothing. and now I have one.
Walked 9 miles.
I walked 9 miles. Now I get to do it in a Lambo. It's beautiful. If I was born into money and was just given a Lambo for my birthday, I wouldn't even appreciate it. That's the reality. So most of you men out here don't even deserve happiness. You come to me talking about happiness you don't deserve. And you know you don't deserve it because you're a coward and you're lazy and you're weak. You don't deserve happiness. It's good you're unhappy. That's your own mind telling you you need to do more. Because if you were genuinely making an impact on the world and exerting your entire masculine force out into the universe, if you were genuinely doing that, you'd find happiness.